Hello and welcome to the Dragon Den. I'm King of Dragons 5000 and today I have another action figure review. Today I'll be taking a look at the Jada Toy Street Fighter 2 Cammy. Jada Toys has done an amazing job here with Cammy as she looks amazing. Despite her simplistic costume, Jada Toys was actually able to give her some impressive detail. Cammy is going to come with two different head sculpts, as well as two different sets of hands and her spiral arrow effect piece. Having a look at her details, Jada Toys has done a great job capturing the look of Cammy from Street Fighter 2. From her signature beret all the way down to her leotard, everything looks perfect here on Cammy. As we take a look at the face sculpt, it's a very beautiful face that Jada Toys has given Cammy. Her big blue eyes are done exceptionally well, and I love her pouty lips. On the left side of her cheek you can see her scar, which is actually painted very nicely. And of course Cammy is wearing her signature red beret. I do like the detailing here on the beret, as it does have the brim as well as the insignia on the side. And we do have a tuft of hair that does poke out of the front, which is accurate to the video game. And of course Cammy is going to have her signature braids, which are sculpted very nicely. As we have a look at her leotard, it's actually done in this very nice green plastic. The sculpt work on her torso is actually done very nicely, as you can see some sculpt work in both her chest and her abdomen. Her sculpted ab muscles look quite impressive here, and I like the fact they even sculpted her insignia on the right side of her chest. Cammy is going to have some bare arms, however there is some sculpted detail in her muscles. And inside that sculpted detail we do have some paint highlighting her muscular arms. On her forearms, Cammy is wearing her signature red gauntlets, which actually have some surprising sculpted detail. And the sculpted detail continues down her glove, which is done exceptionally well, and I like the fact that her fingers are painted. Her legs are going to be nice and thick, and you can see that there is some really nice paint job in both the skin tone as well as her camouflage paint pattern. And Jada Toys spared no expense, as the Cammy cake is perfectly represented here. As we move down to her footwear, you can see she is wearing a pair of red socks underneath her combat boots. And the combat boots are actually sculpted quite well, as they are looking really good, especially with the fold at the top. However, besides her red socks, there is no paint on her foot, as it's just going to be cast in this black plastic. Overall, we have some great paint work here on Cammy, and the sculpt work is quite impressive. It's a really good likeness to what we see in the video games, and Jada Toys captured Cammy perfectly. With the paint and details out of the way, let's compare Cammy to our usual suspects. Being a female figure, Cammy is going to be smaller than your domestic toy lines, and she is going to be slightly smaller than true 1/12 scale. But once you pair her up with the Street Fighter line by Jada Toys, she actually scales perfectly. Cammy is going to have a double ball joint in the head and a ball joint in the neck. Arms go out to the side and do a full 360. A swivel in the bicep and double hinge in her elbow. A standard hinge and swivel at her wrist. Cammy is going to have a ball joint in the upper torso and a ball joint in her lower torso. Her legs will kick forward, go back, out to the side, and have a thigh swivel. She will have a double bend in the knee. Finally, she has a swivel in the boot, a hinge in the ankle, and forward-facing pin for rocker ankle. It's no secret that Jada Toys has been knocking it out of the park with every release, and Cammy White here is another fantastic release. Cammy has a great range of articulation, and there's really nothing hindering any points of articulation, which makes her an impressive figure. In terms of sculpt work, it's actually quite impressive what Jada Toys was able to do with Cammy, as it looks very accurate to the in-game model. One thing I do gotta point out is that it's not a 100% faithful representation, as her boots are green in the video game and on the figure they're black. But it's such a small detail I really can't nitpick it, as it brings the look together nicely. And for the most part, the paint job on Cammy is going to be quite impressive, as everything does look really good with a few exceptions. The painted skin tone on the green plastic is going to be slightly thin in some parts, which might be a little off-putting to some people, but it's not that big of a deal here. I like the fact that her braids are on a swivel and sculpted in a certain way that moving it around gives you a little more dynamic posing here for Cammy. In a perfect world, we would have got an extra head where Cammy is smiling and she's not wearing her beret. However, other than that, it's still another solid release by Jada Toys. At the time I'm making this video, Cammy is available on sites like Big Bad Toy Store, where I did pick up mine for about $25. Being a very popular figure, I can see Cammy selling out rather quickly, so if you haven't already added her to your collection, definitely check her out. Whether she's your favorite character from Street Fighter or you're just trying to fill out the roster, Cammy White is going to look excellent in your Jada Toys collection. And before we go, I want to take a moment to thank you for watching another video here on the Dragon Den. But before you go, don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, and check out the rest of my Jada Toys Street Fighter figures. If you're in a position to help out the channel, check out my Patreon, where I have some exclusive content and early access videos. Check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, videos, recent pickups, latest prints, and as always, ring that bell so you never miss another video. And until next time, my loyal Dragonites coming from the Dragon Den, I'm King of Dragons 5000, reminding you to redesign, rebuild, and reclaim. I'll see you next time.